This wasn't about one bad throw or a few unlucky plays. No, this was humiliation on a generational scale, the kind of performance that makes you question the very soul of the franchise. And at the heart of it all, one name stands alone: Dillon Gabriel. Now, I know what you're thinking. Quarterbacks have bad nights. Even legends throw picks, misreads, lose rhythm. But this was different. This wasn't just bad football. This was an organizational meltdown wearing the face of a quarterback. If you saw what I saw Sunday, you already know this wasn't football. It was surrender disguised as strategy. Let's talk numbers, because they don't lie. Over 50 passing attempts. Read that again, 50. That's desperation in digital form. And yet, after all those throws, barely 220 yards, 0 touchdowns, 0 spark, 0 leadership, 0 life.
Tired of boring phone cases? Here's your chance. My Etsy shop is packed with exclusive designs that let you show off your team pride in style. And the best part, you'll unlock discounts when you hit favorite, more savings when you add to cart, and even surprise discounts on your second purchase. Don't wait. Click the link in the description and grab your favorite now.
You can dress it up however you want. Decent completion rate, under pressure, game plan issues. But if you watched the game, you saw the truth. 3-yard dump-offs on 3rd and 8. Screens, check downs, panic throws. It wasn't quarterbacking, it was damage control. The Steelers didn't even bother disguising their defense. 2 high safeties, soft zone. Come on, throw it deep if you can. He couldn't, or wouldn't. Every intermediate route wide open, untouched, but Dillon kept choosing the safest path, the shortest throw, the quickest escape. By the 4th quarter, Pittsburgh's defense was laughing. I mean literally laughing between plays. Cameras caught them pointing at Cleveland's offense, mocking the play calls. You know how rare that is in the NFL? That's when I realized we weren't watching competition anymore. We were watching a team lose its dignity in real time. And as soon as the final whistle blew, Cleveland's fanbase exploded. Twitter became the front lines of a civil war. Memes, edits, and raw anger everywhere. One viral post had Dillon Gabriel photoshopped into a practice squad uniform with the caption, "Finally found his true level." Another compared his numbers to Brandon Whedon's, and somehow, Whedon looked better. Then came the avalanche. "We traded Joe Flacco for this." Start Shedeur Sanders now before this season becomes unsalvageable. Dillon Gabriel isn't the answer, he's the anchor sinking the ship. 50,000 likes, retweets piling up by the minute. This wasn't normal fan frustration anymore, this was mass rejection. The Cleveland community collectively said, "We've had enough." By Monday morning, it wasn't just fans anymore. National media poured gasoline on the fire. Colin Cowherd opened his show saying, "The Browns have a real franchise quarterback sitting on the bench, while Kevin Stefanski destroys his own season with blind loyalty to a guy who's clearly overmatched." Stephen A. Smith didn't hold back either. "This is coaching malpractice. Everyone can see Shedeur Sanders gives Cleveland the better chance to win, and yet Stefanski refuses to make the obvious change. Why? Pride? Politics? Ego?" Even Skip Bayless, who never agrees with Stephen A., nodded in full agreement. "I've watched Shedeur since Colorado. The kid has an NFL arm, leadership presence, and that fire you can't teach." Meanwhile, Dillon Gabriel looks overwhelmed every single week. This isn't complicated. Play your best quarterback. And honestly, they're right. Now here's where it gets worse, because this mess doesn't end on the field. Behind the scenes, tensions are boiling. Players are done pretending everything's fine. Multiple sources say frustration in the locker room has reached a breaking point. Offensive linemen are exhausted, blocking their hearts out for a quarterback who refuses to use the time they give him. Receivers are running perfect routes, open downfield, only to watch Gabriel check it down for 3 yards. One veteran receiver reportedly told a coach after the game, "Why am I running deep routes if the quarterback won't throw past 15 yards?" And then there's the defense, the one bright spot in all this. They've been elite. They held Pittsburgh under 20, forced turnovers, created short fields, and watched it all go to waste. You could see it in their faces, pure exhaustion mixed with rage. Sources even say one defensive captain confronted Gabriel after the game. It got heated. Voices were raised. Stefanski downplayed it publicly, but everyone in that locker room knows the tension's real. And sitting on the sideline through all of this, Shedeur Sanders. The kid's right there, helmet on, locked in, watching the disaster unfold. Teammates see him every day in practice. They know his arm, his confidence, his leadership. They know he can change this offense overnight. So why isn't he playing? Why are we pretending this is still a competition? Word around the facility is that several veterans have privately approached Stefanski, asking for Shedeur to get a chance. Even the offensive coordinator supposedly agrees, but Stefanski won't budge. Publicly, he stands behind Gabriel. Privately, the entire building knows it's a mistake. And you can feel it, this isn't just a losing streak anymore. This is the kind of stubbornness that breaks a locker room in half. This story stopped being about Dillon Gabriel a long time ago. Now it's about Kevin Stefanski. His credibility is evaporating in real time. His refusal to adapt, his obsession with loyalty over logic, it's destroying this season. League insiders are whispering that he's losing the locker room. Executives are starting to question his leadership. Because here's the brutal truth, this isn't just one bad game. This is the culmination of weeks, maybe months, of denial. And everyone can see the solution. Everyone, except the man holding the headset. As a Browns fan, this one hurts in a way only Cleveland fans can understand. We've lived through heartbreak before, fumbles, collapses, curses, but this feels different. This feels like betrayal from within. We have the talent. We have the defense. We even have the next guy waiting right there, Shedeur Sanders, hungry, ready, capable. But the coaching staff refuses to see it. So yeah, the internet turned savage. The memes were brutal. The takes were ruthless. But maybe, just maybe, this is the wake-up call the franchise needs. Because if they don't make a change soon, this season won't just be lost. It'll be remembered as the year pride destroyed the Cleveland Browns from the inside out. I've covered a lot of wild post-game press conferences over the years, but what happened after Cleveland's latest loss might go down as one of the most surreal I've ever seen. Kevin Stefanski walked to the podium looking drained, almost hollow. You could feel the tension in the room. Everyone there knew what question was coming, and sure enough, a reporter fired it straight down the middle. Have you considered playing Shedeur Sanders, given the offensive struggles? Stefanski paused for a brief moment, his eyes fixed on the table. Then came his answer, calm, emotionless, and completely detached from the storm brewing outside that room. Dillon gives us the best chance to win. That single sentence detonated across the internet like a bomb. Within minutes, Twitter, or X, whatever we're calling it now, absolutely exploded. The clip of Stefanski saying those words was being edited, mocked, and shared faster than any Browns highlight from the entire season. Some fans added laugh tracks. Others layered circus music over the quote. The result was brutal, a wave of online humiliation that perfectly captured what Cleveland fans have been feeling for weeks: anger, disbelief, and exhaustion. But let's be real here. This isn't just about one bad soundbite. This is about the bigger picture, a championship-caliber roster being dragged down by one glaring weakness. The Cleveland Browns have everything. A top-5 defense that suffocates opponents. A solid offensive line built to dominate. Talented receivers. A reliable running game. Even special teams that have held their own. Everything a playoff team needs except a quarterback who can actually move the ball and finish drives. And that's the problem. Dillon Gabriel's limitations aren't just slowing this team down, they're handcuffing it completely. You can see it in every stalled drive, every missed read, every wasted possession. It's like watching a race car with a flat tire, all that horsepower, all that engineering, and nowhere to go. Meanwhile, Shedeur Sanders, a young quarterback known for poise, leadership, and accuracy, stands on the sideline every week, helmet on, ready to go, but never given the chance. It's maddening. What makes it even worse is that the rest of the league is watching. Pittsburgh fans, of course, are having a field day. They're flooding Cleveland's social media with mockery. Thanks for the easy win. One Steelers fan wrote, followed by, please keep starting Gabriel. Sincerely, the AFC North. That's how bad it's gotten. The rivalry, which has always been fierce, now feels personal. Cleveland's dysfunction isn't just costing them wins, it's fueling their biggest enemies. This wasn't a simple loss. This was a season-defining disaster. A gut punch that could knock Cleveland out of playoff contention before Thanksgiving even arrives. Think about that for a second. Just a few months ago, analysts were calling the Browns one of the most complete teams in the AFC, a dark horse Super Bowl pick. Now those same analysts are ripping them apart on national TV, calling the coaching staff incompetent and the front office delusional. The narrative has flipped overnight from potential contenders to organizational chaos. And the Shedeur Sanders situation? It's turning into a full-blown farce. You've got a fifth-round pick reportedly outplaying the third-rounder in practice. Teammates are starting to whisper that they want him under center. Fans are screaming for it. Even the national media is questioning why he hasn't been given a shot. Yet the Browns' leadership continues to stand firm, arms crossed, pretending everything's fine. But why? Is it pride? Is it politics? Or is it fear of admitting they got it wrong? Because let's face it, the truth hurts. Cleveland is stuck in what I can only describe as the sunk cost trap. They spent draft capital on Dillon Gabriel. They publicly committed to him as their guy. And now, despite the evidence, they can't walk it back. Instead of correcting course, they keep doubling down, throwing good opportunities after bad, while the season circles the drain. That kind of stubbornness doesn't just hurt, it destroys. By Monday morning, the internet had turned into a digital uprising. Hashtags like #Gabriel got to go and #StartShedeur were trending. Fan accounts were posting memes, fake trade proposals, even mock missing person posters with Gabriel's face under the words "Lost, Browns offense." It was cruel, it was clever, and it was loud. You could feel the city's frustration pulsing through every post. This wasn't a fringe movement anymore, it was a rebellion. Entire fan podcasts went live overnight to dissect every bad throw and every missed opportunity. Thousands of Browns fans changed their profile pictures to Shedeur Sanders. Others organized coordinated tweet storms, tagging the Browns' official account, demanding change. The message couldn't have been clearer. Play Shedeur Sanders now, or risk losing us completely. And honestly, that's the crossroads Cleveland is standing at right now. Do you keep backing a struggling quarterback out of pride, or do you make a move everyone knows is overdue? Because let's be honest, the locker room isn't blind. Players know when the wrong guy is leading the huddle. You can only keep up the illusion of trusting the process for so long before it turns into resentment. Time is running out. The AFC North doesn't wait for anyone. The Ravens are gaining ground. The Bengals are heating up. And the Steelers? They're laughing while Cleveland's playoff hopes slip away week by week. Every passing game with Gabriel at the helm pushes this team closer to collapse. Every loss chips away at Stefanski's credibility. Every stubborn decision deepens the wound. This isn't bad luck. It's not just a slump. This is organizational failure, top to bottom. The Browns are wasting one of the best defenses they've ever had. They're squandering a roster built for January football because no one wants to admit a mistake in October. That's not leadership, that's denial. The loss to Pittsburgh didn't just hurt the standings, it exposed everything. It showed the fans what they've suspected all along. The Browns don't have a quarterback capable of winning meaningful games right now, and their coaching staff is too paralyzed by ego to fix it. What we saw on the field wasn't just a defeat, it was a reflection of the deeper dysfunction eating this team alive. The result? An entire city losing faith. Faith in the coach. Faith in the front office. Faith in the idea that maybe, just maybe, this year would finally be different. And yet, through all the noise, through all the anger, one truth keeps echoing louder and louder. Dillon Gabriel isn't the answer. He's the obstacle. The barrier standing between the Browns and the success they've been chasing for decades. Everyone knows it, the fans, the players, the analysts, even the rivals. Everyone except, apparently, the people in charge. So the question now isn't if, it's when. When will the Cleveland Browns finally do what's right? When will they give Shedeur Sanders the shot he's earned? Because this season was supposed to be the turning point, the comeback, the redemption story. But instead, it's becoming the same sad chapter all over again. Another quarterback disaster, another wasted year, another reminder that in Cleveland, heartbreak always seems just one decision away. And if the coaching staff doesn't wake up soon, that decision, the one to keep riding with Gabriel, might be the one that costs them everything.